Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
Good afternoon. I hope I'm audible to everyone. I hope you all doing well. We'll start the session. Prashant sir, good afternoon.
Shruta, could you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, hi everyone, good afternoon. Hope all of you are doing great. So, welcome back once again to our Agentic AI FDP session. Okay, so as part of it, as I mentioned already, the today's agenda will be the CrewAI, where we are going to use the CrewAI and will be able to develop multiple latest agents which are required for us, right? We are going to develop all of them and then we'll be able to take our journey further. Okay. So yeah, give me 2 minutes. Let me go ahead and share my screen quickly. And from there, we all can be able to proceed further with today's topic that is about Crew AI using multi-agents. Okay. Let me share my screen, everyone. Okay, so we are in the world of CrewAI as of today, as you all know. So we are already in the world of CrewAI now. As part of the CrewAI, right? As I said, like we are going to discuss about some interesting things even today. So yesterday we have seen what is CrewAI, how to create a single agent, single task. We completed it, and then we went into the documentation of the same. Okay, so now we are going to see how to build our own crew AI agent. So we will see that how we can build our own crew AI agent. Okay, where you give any task to your crew AI agent. Okay, it will automatically run and then will make it successful. Okay. So as part of the Crew AI, we are going to discuss that how we can build the Crew AI agent successfully, and then how we can be able to give a task to the Crew AI agent so that it can be able to run without any difficulty. So what are all the things which are important within the Crew AI, everyone, as we discussed already yesterday? So in the Crew AI world, there are three important components which we all should be here aware about. One is agent. So when I say agent here, agent is nothing but it is your AI team member. Okay. Agent is like your AI team member. Basically, you can say like a human worker it is. Okay. It's like how we have the humans working for different things. In the same way, your agent is going to represent as an AI team member for all of us. Okay. Which is going to be like a human worker. Then within the Crew AI world, we have here something called as a task, right? Task here means basically it is the job what we want the agent to do. Okay, so task here is nothing but this is the job like what we want ideally the agent to go ahead and ideally do it for us. Okay. So when we say here task, it's about like ideally the job, what we want the agent to actually go ahead and do it for all of us. Okay. And then we also have another important thing after agent task, we have here something called as a crew. So when we say here a crew means again, crew is nothing but it's a group, right? As I mentioned already yesterday, the meaning of the crew is nothing but it's a group where you are going to have all your agents and as well as tasks. Both of them are going to be combined and we are going to execute it. Okay, that's how it is going to work. Okay. So if you see here, ideally in the world of like Crew AI, the three important components or the concepts which every one of us should be aware of is one being the agent, like where it will act like your AI team member. Okay, it's going to be like a human worker, like it is going to help us out in whatever activities it can be specialized. And then you have a task. Task is where the job you want the agent to do. You can mention that in your task. And then crew is nothing but this is a group where you are going to have your agents and then tasks which are combined and executed. Okay, you are going to combine them and then we will execute it appropriately to get the better responses at the end of it. Okay. So that is the overall capability which we all should be aware when we refer to the world of agent, task, and as well as the crew. Okay. So this is the clarity which we all here should be aware about. Okay. Give me a minute. Okay, so if you see here, this is where we have our agent, task, and crew being available for all of us. Okay, these are the three core concepts whenever we refer to the world of Crew AI, right? So Crew AI always gets started with these three things: agent, task, and crew. Okay. Okay, so right now, if you see agent, task, and crew is what we done. So right now, let's go into the agent. Okay. So now let's move into the agent, and within the agent, what are all the things we need? So definitely one is the role. So role means this is the agent's job. Okay. What is the agent's job? We are going to provide that in the role. Okay. Example, you can say your agent role can be a researcher or a writer or an analyst, something like that. Like something like this, we can be able to provide it here. Okay. And then they can also be a goal for the agent. Okay. Goal means like what we want this agent to achieve. Okay. So what basically the agent has to achieve, that we can be able to highlight it in the goal, that can be the agent goal, where it can be able to let us know that what it wants to go ahead and achieve at the end of the day. Okay. That can again be a goal over here. And then you can also have a backstory for your agent. So your backstory can be like some background to help it act more intelligently. It's like more like a context, giving some context so that it can understand the context very clearly and it can work intelligently for all of us. And then finally, you need to even provide your LLM, because this is your AI brain. Okay. So your AI brain is going to be like present in LLM. So you can give your AI brain that it can be a chat GPT, Copilot, Gemini. But in order to connect to all of them, you definitely need an API. So when you refer to the world of agent, right? So ideally in the agent world, we have some important parts associated with it. Like one being the role here. The role is the agent's job, where it is going to let us know that what job the agent can be able to do. We can either provide there the roles like researcher, writer, analyst, something as such. And then you need the goal here. Goal is nothing but you can make your agent to achieve whatever it needs to done, right? So the goal can be like what you want the agent to go ahead and achieve, right? So there can be an appropriate goal assigned to it. And then you can have your backstory, which is nothing but the context, like where we can give some background to help it act more intelligently. And finally, you have your LLM, which is going to act like your AI brain, where you can connect to any of the AI models which are available using the API key, and then we can connect to it and can handle it appropriately. Okay. So that's about your agent, which you need to consider whenever we define agent. We can go ahead with all of these different things like role, goal, backstory, and as well as your LLM. This is how within the agent we are going to have, and then accordingly you are also going to have the next thing is the task. So in the task, what will happen? A task will tell the agent like what exactly the agent has to do. Okay, and then apart from that, like what kind of result it actually has to give. Okay, so both of them are taken care by the task ideally. So when we refer to the world of task here, right? So here the task will tell your agent ideally like what it needs to do and what kind of result it has to give. So both of them are taken care by the task itself. Okay, that's another important thing. And then finally, the third step is going to be like where we are going to create a crew over here. Okay, so we will be taking the responsibility to create a crew, and that crew is nothing but it's a group, and that group comprises of what? Agent plus task. Okay, so these are the things which it is going to consider. Like when you say create a crew, it's about your group, and then your agent and task will be combined over there. So this will put your agent and task together, and you can be able to run them without any difficulties. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is we will move on to the hands-on activity. Right, we will move on to the hands-on activity, and then we will see that how we can be able to create one such. But right now the case study what we are going to work upon will be we will create a CrewAI agent which can be an education mentor for the graduates, right? For all the graduates, like either it may be undergraduate or a postgraduates, we want to create a CrewAI agent which can be helpful for which can be helpful in such a way where it can act as an education mentor for all the graduates. Okay, that's something which we are going to do right now. So let me put up the case study like what we are going to develop, after which I will explain to you, and then you can also all be able to develop your own CrewAI agent. So let's say the agent what we are going to develop right now is related to, like, let me say here it is education mentor for graduates, right? So this is what we are going to look into. So it's going to be an education mentor for graduates. So first we are going to have the agent. Okay, and then here the agent will be the learning coach. Okay, the agent here will be the learning coach, and then we are going to provide the role for the agent, and the role is again, the role of the agent is to ensure that it is a learning coach, and the goal of the agent what we are developing as a learning coach, right? The goal is to ensure that it understands all the complex concepts. Okay, the goal is to understand all the complex technical concepts, whatever it may be. Okay, so it will go ahead, understand all the technical concepts in a very simple way. That's the goal. So any technical concept I put, like anything which is complex, the goal of the agent, which is called here as a learning coach, it should be able to understand the complex concept, and it should be able to explain or give us the result in a very simple way. Okay, that's the goal. And you can put some backstory associated with it to the agent. We can also have the backstory. As you know, these are all the important parts within the agent. So you can say backstory is, let's say you are an experienced coach, something like this I can say. Okay, experienced coach means it has a good amount of experience. It will act like it has a really good amount of experience. So experienced coach, like who actually teaches, right? Who is expert or who teaches, let's say computer science. Okay, something like this, computer science and AI. Okay, AI topics to new graduates. Something like this I can be able to put. See, these are all flexible. I'm not saying that you have to go with what I am trying to portray over here. This is to give you the exposure that how you can be able to add the things. But But this is not something where I'm letting you know that this is the only way you have to do it. I'm letting you know the flexibility that when you are defining the agent, the role is your flexibility, the goal is your flexibility, the backstory is your flexibility. That means you can portray or you can write it in whatever way you. Okay, so we don't need to go ahead and stop anything. So that's how you can provide the role here as a learning coach. The goal is to understand all the complex technical concepts. And then the backstory is to be like an experienced coach who can teach your computer science and AI topics to the new graduates. And finally, you need your brain, AI brain that comes through an LLM. So you can choose something like around GPT 3.5. Okay, or you can select any other AI models also. So GPT 3.5 using the OpenAI. So I would like to go with this approach. So if you see here very clearly, this is how the things are going to work like, okay. We have an agent, which is a learning coach, and the role is here, like that's a learning coach. Goal is to understand again the complex concepts in a very simple way. The backstory is to ensure that we are asking the AI agent to act like an experienced coach, which will teach the computer science and AI topics to the new graduates. And the LLM is like an AI brain where it will help us out to use the GPT 3.5 using the OpenAI. Okay, these are all are the things which we can consider as a CrewAI agent, which will help us as an education mentor for the graduates. And then you can also give some tasks, right? If you wish, you can also be able to give some tasks to the AI agent which we are developing right now, which is nothing but the learning coach. You can say in the task, right? You can provide something called as a description, right? You can provide some description to the task, and the description can be, let's say, you can say something like this, like explain machine learning, right? Something like this we can definitely be able to say. So explain the machine learning in simple words. Okay, like something like this we can say. And then you can also define the expected output, right? You can also be able to define the expected output as a task over here. So the expected output, you can say whenever it provides the answer, it should always be a short paragraph. Okay, it can always be a short paragraph, like with around 2 examples or something like this. Okay, and if it can give any analogy also, it is better. Okay, so something like this we can have. So task can be like description you can provide, like explain machine learning in simple words, and the expected output whenever the agent is giving the output, right? It should be having a short paragraph with the 2 examples or some analogy associated with it. Okay, that's the point which we all have to consider. So now I am going to explain to you that how the case study, whatever we discussed right now, can be implemented practically. So that's what I'm going to give you here as a clarity so that you all can be able to understand and can take it further. Okay, so again, I'm just letting you all know in this case very clearly. So the case study, whatever we are going to discuss, is related to the education mentor for the graduates. And the agent here would be the learning coach, okay, where we have the role associated and then goal, the backstory, and then the LLM, whatever we are going to use. GPT 3.5 is free of cost, but still you need to use the API key from the OpenAI platform, okay? And then the task is also, we made it very clear. So now let's go and then try to deep dive and see practically how this can be achieved. And from there, we will try to understand further steps, okay? So let's move here. Okay, let's try to enter into it. Okay, so if you observe over here very clearly, this is something which we worked upon yesterday. Now I'm going to the second one over here. So if you see in this case, right, what are we trying to do? So if you see very clearly, this is the next example we are trying to develop. What we are trying to do is, ideally, as you all know, so this is the first and foremost thing which we all need to do. Okay, so first step here very clearly is we are installing the tools, whatever are needed for our program. Okay, so first we are trying to get the CrewAI, because the CrewAI is, first of all, which is a very mandatory step, because without CrewAI, right, we are not going to build the AI teams. So in order to build our AI teams, we definitely need the CrewAI, which will be helpful for our agents and tasks. So in order for us to create the agents and tasks successfully, so we definitely need the CrewAI to be present here. So we need to install here the CrewAI. So this CrewAI will help us out in building the AI teams appropriately. So all your agents and tasks are going to play an important role here. So your CrewAI, whatever is present in this scenario, right? So your CrewAI is very much important for us to create agents and tasks. So for that, CrewAI needs to be installed, and then you need your LangChain and OpenAI. So LangChain and OpenAI, this both of them will help you to connect with OpenAI's ChatGPT. So in order for us to connect to the OpenAI ChatGPT, we need both LangChain and OpenAI to be present over here. Okay. Then if you see here, okay, the next important things, if we can consider over here, if you see very clearly, what is that which is happening over here is now from the CrewAI, okay, from CrewAI, whatever we installed from the above step, right? So from the CrewAI, we are going to import our agent task to Crew, which is required for us to define like what exactly is needed or what job we need to do. As an AI agent, what job I need to do. For that, from the CrewAI, you can pick up your agent, which will play an important role, and then the task where we are going to say what it needs to do. And Crew is nothing but it's a combination of your agent and task. So we are trying to get that. And ultimately, we have the Chat OpenAI. As I already explained yesterday, Chat OpenAI will help us out to connect our agent to ChatGPT. If we really need to connect to our ChatGPT or our AI brain, which is nothing but your AI model, your Chat OpenAI will help you to connect your AI agent to any of the AI models. So in our case, it is ChatGPT. So we are using LangChain OpenAI. Okay. So how can you be able to connect? So by this time, you are already all aware. So here is where we are going to use our OpenAI API key. So this is my API key. So where you can also use your own API key when you are talking to ChatGPT. Okay. So without this, imagine it will not work. So you definitely need an API. API will enable you to connect to your ChatGPT AI model. And from there only you can be able to proceed further. Okay. So definitely you need an API key, and you all know already how to create an API key. I have already explained in our previous classes. So you just need to go to your OpenAI platform. From there you can log in with your Gmail account. And if your Gmail account is being used for the first time, you will be given $5 of credit, which is for free of cost. Generate the API key from there. You will see API keys option. Click on it. There at the right hand side, you will have a button to create a new secret key. You can click on it, have your API created, copy your API key once it is created in the notepad, and you can use the same API key again and again for all your programs. And that API key only will enable you to connect to any of the AI models. As we are using ChatGPT OpenAI key, so we will always be able to be connected with the like OpenAI API key. Whenever we are going to use, we are always going to connect to ChatGPT AI model. Okay. And then in that, what model we are going to connect, that also we are here giving as a clarity, if you see very clearly. So we are mentioning here very clearly that using the Chat OpenAI, which we have imported, right? Using Chat OpenAI, we are saying I need the model which is GPT 3.5. That's going to be the model which we are going to use, and the temperature is 0.6. That means AI will be little creative, but not too random. Okay, as I said you, right? Any value from 0.5 to 1 will always be helpful for us to get the best response rather than getting any random output over here. Okay. So that's the temperature which we can be able to opt for. And then you have the model, whatever the model you want, you can be able to utilize it over here. Okay. But GPT 3.5 Turbo is better because it is free of cost. Even though you create the API, but it's not going to charge you at all because it's free of cost at the end of the day. Then what is needed again, if you see here very clearly, this is where I'm trying to create an agent, right? This is where I'm trying to create my AI agent being named as a learning coach. Here, the role is set to be the learning coach. Okay. So where we are giving the job, the agent job is to act like a learning coach. And what is the goal or the mission here? The goal is to explain the things simply. Whatever the concept we are going to ask, that should be explained in a very simple manner. And then backstory. Backstory is nothing but it's a context. It behaves like a friendly teacher. Okay, it's going to behave like a friendly teacher, which will help us out in breaking down all the concepts in a very easy or in a simpler manner. Okay, and then we are going to say that our LLM equal LLM. That means LLM is in here nothing but whatever the model you want here, right? It will use GPT 3.5 turbo and the temperature with little randomness. Okay, and you see verbose equal to true. Verbose equal to true means it will show us the detailed steps in the output rather than directly giving us the solution. It will let us know that how it has approached to that particular solution. For that, you can enable your verbose by saying verbose equal to true, which will always help us out in giving us the detailed steps in making us understand that how we have been able to achieve to the particular output. That is what is being described over here as an education agent. So you see that the agent is available and you can highlight your role, goal, backstory, your LLM, and then verbose. Okay. So this is the clarity we need to have here as an education agent. Okay. That's how it should be available for us to go ahead and then proceed further. Okay, so this is again going to be one of the very important thing which we all here should be considering. Okay. Now, as you see that our agent is defined successfully with a proper role, goal, backstory, and then you have your LLM, which is your brain, and then verbose equal to true. Yesterday, many people asked me what is the meaning of verbose equal to true. I am again giving the clarity right now here. Verbose equal to true means it will show you all the detailed steps in the output without going directly to the solution. Okay. Now here you have here there is an input. So what is this? It indicates that this will show a question box. Okay, this is going to show a question box in the Google Colab or wherever we are going to execute. That means the user can type something like whatever they wanted, like what is machine learning or explain cloud computing or what is a blockchain. They can ask any question, something like that. So here is where the user will be given the chance to go ahead and ask whatever the question they want to the AI agent, which is here acting like a learning coach. Okay, here they can go ahead when you see the user question, right? Here is where you will be given the chance to provide the input, where you can go ahead and can provide an input. That means you can ask whatever the question you want. And from there, the response will be provided to you by the agent, which is here going to act like a learning coach. Okay, and then here we are creating the task. If you see very clearly, this is where we are creating the task in this scenario. And the task is what? If you see very clearly, okay, you are now telling to your AI agent, okay, hey, there is a question. See, user question means what here? User question is nothing but it is a variable. This is where it gets stored, right? So I'm saying explain whatever the user is asking. Okay, so we are saying that, hey, here's a question from the user. Go ahead, explain it clearly with some examples and analogies. Okay, and the expected output should be in a short explanation with the 2 examples and 1 analogy. That's it. Okay, and then it should be working where? It should be working on the agent, that is education agent. So whatever you defined here, right? In the education agent, whatever we defined here in that agent, it should be able to work upon. So that's what we have defined here in the task. So we made it very clear in the task that the description will be like, again, whatever the user is asking as a question. So explain that. Okay, please be very clear in giving some examples and analogies. And in the expected output, we made it very clear that the explanation, whatever it is going to provide, it should be with the 2 examples and 1 analogy. Okay, and it should be able to work on the agent, and that agent name is education agent. And then finally, in the crew, if you see here very clearly, right, what is happening in this case? Like we are taking the crew over here. So crew means what? Crew is nothing but you have to define whatever agent and task you have. So this is forming a crew here, where you see it is a group of agent which is doing the task. And what is here our agent? We have one agent, that is education agent, And then we have one task which the education agent has to do. And then we have the crew.kickoff. As we know, kickoff means it will run everything and will get the final output from the AI agent, which we created using the CrewAI. And finally, it will print us with the response as an education output. Okay. It will show us the AI answer, which is being generated by the AI agent on the screen. So for that, we are using the print statement where /n is a new line where it will give us the educational output and we can see the response, whatever it has been able to provide. Okay. So this is the clarity which we all here should be aware about. So if you see, we started with installing the CrewAI LangChain OpenAI, and then we got from the CrewAI the agent, task, and crew. And then from the LangChain OpenAI, we imported the chat OpenAI. That is nothing but it is important for us to connect to all our LLMs. The chat OpenAI will play a very important role where we are going to connect, right? Ultimately, the chat OpenAI will help us out in order to connect to our OpenAI model and then get all the responses. So you see that here we have the OpenAI API key, which you need to provide in your case, your own OpenAI API key. And here is the model I am providing, GPT 3.5 Turbo model, which is free of cost. From this model, we are going to get the response with the temperature being set here. Temperature will be ranging from 0 to 2. 0.5 to 1 is always ideal range. Anything higher will be more random. It will just give you very random answer. Anything lesser than that, it will not be able to give you a great answers. Okay. Always ideally 0.5 to 1. And then here is where we are creating the agent in this case. Okay. That is education agent, and it has a role here as a learning coach. And the goal of the learning coach is to answer all the technical questions for the graduates in a very simple terms. And then you have a backstory associated here where we are here seeing that you are going to have a friendly AI mentor, okay, who is going to break down all the tough concepts into easy examples. And then you are going to define your LLM. And finally, verbose equal to true means rather than directly going and giving the output, it will show you step by step that how did we achieve or go to that particular output. Okay. That is what will be available in your education agent. And then here user question means this is where the space will be provided. In the user question, we are going to be given a space, right? So within this space, we can be able to go ahead and see that the input, like user can be given the flexibility to input whatever the question they want to the AI agent to answer it. And then here is the task which has been present. So within this task, what we can do is like whatever the question which was being asked, right? Whatever the question which is there, right? User question. So that will be taken into consideration. So we have to explain the user question in a very simple way by giving some examples and analogies. Now, how many examples and analogies? You kept that in the expected output. That I need 2 examples with 1 analogy, and this should be implemented in the agent, that is education agent, whatever we named here as the agent, right? In that it should be placed. And finally, crew means it's a set of agents and tasks. So we have here 1 agent, that is education agent, and then 1 task available here. Okay. And then kickoff is nothing but this is where your AI agent will get started, or it will get kick started, or it will be executed over there. So crew.kickoff is nothing but it will be executed immediately then and there. That is the crew.kickoff. And finally, you are going to see the result will be printed over here. Okay. So that's the clarity we all need to have over here. So now if you see the moment you go and run this, let's say if I run this and check it out, if it can be able to run successfully, let me see. Okay. So it will ask you first the user input. Okay, I'm just hoping that it will be able to go ahead. Okay, it's first downloading all the related CrewAI and everything. Let me just give some time for it to download it. It's all about LangChain, OpenAI, and then again we have the CrewAI and all, right? So just taking up everything into consideration. Okay, so yeah, see, you see that? It's asking here, hey, ask me a technical question you would like to learn about. You're getting my point? It's saying that, hey, you can ask me a technical question you would like to learn about. Okay. So now I will ask some random question where my AI agent should be able to go ahead and respond to me. Okay. I'll say, in this case, what is a neural net? Let's see what it will do. Okay. So now I'm asking the question like, what is a neural network? Okay. And then I'm clicking on enter. Let's see what it will do for me. See, first of all, it went to the agent learning coach. That is the reason I said verbose equal to true. Verbose equal to true will say me from where to where it has gone. See, when I asked a question, what is a neural network? First, it went to the agent learning coach. Then it took the task, see, explain what is a neural network. This is a question which I asked in simple terms for a graduate using examples and analogies. Okay. Observe here very clearly. It says that a neural network is a computer system that mimics the way a human brain works to solve the problems. It consists of layers of interconnected nodes called as a neurons that processes the information for us. Each neurons will take input, it will process it and will pass the output to the next layer of neurons until a final output is generated, which is very good. Now it gives us some examples. Let's see. Imagine you have a neural network for recognizing the fruits. The first layer of neurons might detect the basic features like color, shape, and size. The next layer would combine these features to identify specific fruits like apples or bananas. Finally, the output layer would give you the correct label for the fruit, whether if it is an apple or banana. Let's say it gave another example in a neural network. Okay, in a neural network which is used for predicting the house prices, the initial neurons might analyze the factors like location, size, and amenities. Subsequent layers could weight some factors like to estimate the price range, with the final output providing a predicted price for a house. And then analogy. Think of a neural network like a team of specialists working together to solve a complex puzzle. Each specialist will focus on a specific aspect of the puzzle, such as colors or shapes. By sharing their insights and collaborating, they can accurately piece together the entire puzzle and they can be able to solve it. You can take this as an analogy to understand the neural network. See, if I wouldn't have used verbose equal to true, I would have got the output like this, because this is the final output. But when I say verbose equal to true, it will show me what is exactly happening. The moment I'm asking question, what is a neural network? It's going to my agent that's a learning coach. Then it is taking the task, whatever we have given. Then in the agent, you see the final answer is being generated. That's giving me the definition of the neural network. It's giving me two examples and it's giving me one analogy. Now a quick question to all of you, and let me see how many of you can answer this one. Say me one thing, why it only gave me two examples and one analogy? Why can't it be able to go ahead and give me some 5 examples or some 10 analogies? Why there was a limitation that it gave only 2 examples for me and then one analogy? Anybody? I already have explained this to you. So can anybody be able to think and give me the answer in the chat? Why only it gave me 2 examples and one analogy instead of giving me some 5 or 10 examples or maybe some 5 or 10 analogies? Why it gave me only one analogy and 2 examples, everyone? Let me see how many of you can be able to answer. You can please put it in the chat, your respective answer. What do you think? Why it gave only 2 examples and one analogy? Okay, yes, as you all rightly say here, it is very clearly mentioned. Okay, because I mentioned here it in the expected output. If you see at the top in the task, right, within the task, we gave a clarity that my expected output, whatever is there, it should be a very short explanation by giving 2 examples and then one analogy. Okay, so expected output should be very clear, where it is giving me a short explanation with some 2 examples and then one analogy over here. Okay, So that's the clarity which we all should here be aware about. Okay. So this is one of the capability which we just want to make it very clear to all of you. So now the moment you go ahead and execute this code, right, it will be able to give you the responses, like whatever question you want, you give it as a user input, and it should be able to take the user input that is nothing but your question, and it should be able to give us the response. Okay, with a definition, or with a short example, or with a short like idea, and then take the two examples, and then finally the analogy. That's it. So this is the clarity which we all here should be aware about. Okay, so now I'm going to share this code to all of you, where I will give you 10 minutes of time from your end to execute this entire code, creating your own learning coach agent, so that you can be able to ask whatever question you want. You can be able to ask that question, and it should be in a position to respond to us. Okay, so let me share the code in the document which ideally have, right, the LangChain document. Let me share it over there. So give me a minute. I will be sharing it in the main chat right now. Yeah, whatever I'm going to share the file, in the same file only you will be having yesterday's code also. Okay. So I don't need to again share it separately. Whatever is available in the file, whatever I'm sharing right now, yesterday's code is also present in this. Okay. So it's a same document I'm sharing. So a lot of codes are available there itself. Okay. So please utilize it. I've just shared the document in the main chat. So the moment you enter into the document, right, so you will be able to see something like this at the last. Okay, whatever is available at the last. So that is the code which you all need to refer to and then need to practice. And remember one thing, I removed my OpenAI API key. So you have to replace it with your own OpenAI API key, which you have with you in the OpenAI platform. Okay, whatever API key you have. And the one who has asked me about yesterday's code, right, here is the code. The one before it. Okay, so this is the latest code, the last one before to it is the one yesterday which we have discussed. Okay, so we have everything here only in the same document. I'm sending the same document because I don't want anybody to miss any of the code. If you have missed yesterday any of the code, or maybe day before yesterday, everything will be available in one single place itself, here itself, so that it will be easier for all of you to refer to it. Okay, so if you see here very clearly, this is how it plays a very important role. Okay, so this is the code which we discussed as part of our today's discussion, which is nothing but the learning coach. You can ask any question and it will take your question and will be able to help you out with the definition and with the two examples and one analogy. Okay, so please go ahead, get started everyone. I've already shared the code to all of you in the form of a document. I will give you 10 minutes from now for you to go ahead, execute it successfully. After that, we will move on to the next concept, that how we can create multi-agents in the CrewAI. Okay, how we can create the multi-agents in the CrewAI is something which we will discuss once this is completed. But before that, I would give 10 minutes for all of you to please complete this CrewAI agent, which is about the learning coach, where you can ask any question and it will be able to go ahead and respond to you and give you the relevant answer associated with it. Okay, so please go ahead, complete and do let us know once you are done with it. Mention it in the chat once you have done with it, everyone. Okay, your time starts now. Please go ahead and get started with the execution, everybody. Yeah, there may be two possibilities here, Deepa. Just check it out once, like whether if you have the free OpenAI key, the usage of it, like whether all the $5 got completed or not. If not, try to refresh once. Try to refresh one and have your OpenAI key one more time loaded, and then you run it one more time. Only because of these two reasons only, there can be a light LLM which can fail basically. Okay. Just check it out once with that. So ideally because of that only. Okay. Just try to run or execute it. Okay, just you can be able to try to run or execute it. The moment you refresh and execute it one more time, and just check the usage whether $5 is still there or whether if it is exhausted. Check that. If your balance is zero, then you cannot run your API key, and then there may be chances that these type of errors may occur. $1 only consumed, then no problem. Then that means you still have $4 left, Deepa. Just try to reload it and don't try to change anything. Just see whether if everything is getting installed successfully in the Google Colab or not. It's ideally because of that only. Otherwise, it's just going to run successfully without any difficulties. Okay. Shlok Jain, you are done with it. Excellent. Okay, good, good. Keep it up. Okay, Chintan done. Great. Yeah, you can run it in Visual Studio also. Exactly. The same code, Chintan, can be taken up in any other places also. That's not a problem. Okay. The same thing can be run even in your Visual Studio code or any other IDE also. We can be able to execute. Okay. Good job. I see most of you were able to complete it. Okay. So I'm giving last 2 minutes for everyone to please complete it. I'm giving the last 2 minutes for everyone to go ahead and quickly complete this so that we can move on to the next topic altogether, everyone. Then we will discuss how within the CrewAI we can create multiple agents. But before that, I would request every one of you to please complete this part. Siddiqui done. Good job. Okay, double done. Good. Good job, Peter. Everyone, all are done with it. Okay, hope you all are done with this one. So now let me move you all to the next concept, that is about how we can create multiple agents within the CrewAI. That's another interesting thing which we are going to discuss about right now. Okay, so let me take you further right now for the multi-agent system in the CrewAI. First, let's understand what exactly it is theoretically. Then we will move on to the hands-on activity and we'll try to get to know more about it. Okay. So right now, when we talk about the multi-agent system, so let's understand what exactly here is a multi-agent system. See, multi-agent system is like, imagine this, like think of it like a real team project, right? So if you have, let's say there is a real team project, okay? So let's say among them, one person actively works on research, okay? And then another person will help us out to summarize that research content. And then the third one will take the responsibility to present it. Like you see, you distributed your work so neatly and clearly that one will focus only on the research work, another one will work only on summarization, and the third one will take the responsibility only to present the topic, right? In that way, what will happen? Collaboratively, they all can finish faster and in a better manner, right? So CrewAI also let you do the same thing, but with the AI agents, it will be able to help us out. Okay, so today CrewAI is also helping us out in order to do the same thing, but it is going to be done with the help of the AI agents is what we are going to do. So with the help of the AI agents, we can ask our CrewAI where it will be able to help us out in order to handle all these things effectively, like research or summarization or presenting this topic. So how our CrewAI can be able to support us, that's something which we need to look into. So what we can do is within the CrewAI, okay, so we can define how many agents we want, we can do it. It will give us the compatibility to define multiple agents. Okay. So we have the flexibility and the compatibility to go ahead and can create how many ever agents we want, we can be able to do it. So we can define definitely multiple agents. Okay. And we can assign ideally different tasks to all these multiple agents. Okay. Whatever multiple agents we are defining here right now, we can go ahead and can allocate them the different tasks where they can be able to work upon. And then we can also control the sequence, right? Whatever the sequence we want, we can always be able to control that sequence. That means what activity should happen first, right? And then what activity should happen second, and then what activity should happen third, right? So all these things, like we need to control the sequence here, like where you can always control the sequence, like for which comes first, second, third, like this, we can move ahead. And then finally, whatever the output is there, right? So output of the task, okay, will be provided to us. This is how it actually works. When you have multiple agents, your CrewAI says that, yes, I can go ahead and can leverage by creating or defining multiple agents. And you can assign those different tasks to each agent. And then we can also control the sequence appropriately, letting us know like what would be the first one agent, second, and then third. And finally, the output of the task would be provided to us. Okay, so that's how we can be able to work upon. Now, what I'm going to do is I will explain to you that what is that we are going to do right now. The only difference which you all are going to see right now here is, okay, whatever we are going to develop in this case, right? That's going to be more related to having multiple agents in the place line. Okay, so that's what we are going to work upon and see. So instead, till now, whatever we were able to create, it was more like one agent and one task which we have worked upon. But right now, we will see that how we can create multiple agents with multiple tasks where it should understand the sequence automatically based on whatever we are providing, and then finally should be in a position to derive and give us the output a problem. Okay, so that is what it ideally has to be able to go ahead and do it for us. So let's just go and check it out, how it is basically going to work upon. So now if I can show you here very clearly, so let's just go see. And now if you observe in this case, like what is exactly happening. So first, as you know, this is not going to be the new thing. So this is all, again, we are repeating the same thing. If you see very clearly, here is where we are installing the CrewAI, which is going to be our AI agent. And then we are installing the LangChain OpenAI, which will be helpful for us to interact with the ChatGPT 3.5 model with the help of the CrewAI. Then we are saying that from the CrewAI, I need agent, task, and crew, because those are your core parts of the CrewAI. And then we need the chat OpenAI, because this will let our AI agent to use the GPT 3.5 turbo model from the OpenAI. Okay. Then you need to provide your API key, because without your API key, you are not allowed to connect to your ChatGPT model. So definitely I need my API key needed, so that with the help of this API key only, I can be able to connect to my GPT 3.5 turbo model successfully. And then here is where I'm mentioning very clearly that what should be my model and the temperature. So I'm making very clear that, hey, this is my ChatGPT version which I needed, right? Where you can say that, hey, my version is going to be 3.5 and then the temperature is 0.5. That means it is going to be able to balance between creativity and accuracy. Having the range from 0.5 to 1 is always better and ideal for us. Okay. And then you see that here in this case, if you observe here very clearly, in this case, it's mentioned very clearly that you have the career researcher, right? So the agent's job again is to search for the latest tech job roles and required skills. So ideally how it is going to work is like we are defining an agent, and the agent role here is a career researcher. That means the agent's main role is to find the most in-demand technologies and what are the jobs and what are the required skill sets. So here the backstory we are providing is like you are an expert in analyzing the job market trends. So that's what we are trying to define it over here. Okay, and then again we are once we are putting out the backstory over here very clearly. So we are just saying that you are going to act like an expert in analyzing the job market trends, and then we are giving the LLM, and verbose equal to true means, as you know, right? Verbose equal to true means what? It will give us all the output rather than directly going to the output. It will give us all the steps which has actually led for us to enter into that particular output. Okay. So that is what we are going to see over here very clearly. And then you see in this scenario, there is a skills analyst. I created one more agent. Till now, whatever you have been able to see was only, I was able to create only one agent till now. So you were only seeing one agent itself. But right now, I am creating one more agent over here. In this case, that is your skills analyst agent. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of this agent? Now, this agent will go and will compare your skills with what employers actually need. Okay, so this is going to be the role of this agent is to act like a skills gap analyst, where it will identify the gap between your current skill set and what the job is expecting or demanding. And okay, the backstory or the context is to help the people bridge the gap. Okay, they should understand what actually job is expecting and what you have. It should be able to say them very clearly. Okay. And then LLM again will be the GPT 3.5 turbo model, and then verbose equal to 2. Okay. Then again, I'm defining one more agent. So this is my third agent in the same CrewAI itself. So my third agent, which I'm trying to create here, is resume advisor. So this agent will give me the career advice on improving my resume and profile. How I have to improve my resume and profile. So this is going to act like a career advice. So if you see here, I'm creating an agent with the role here as a resume advisor, where the goal of this is to give me the tips to enhance any graduate's resume or a portfolio. So I'm saying the context is act like a career counselor who has a lot of experience reviewing resumes and give some actionable advice at the end of the day. Okay. So you see that here we are again taking the LLM as GPT 3.5 Turbo, and your verbose is here going to be true. Okay, so this agent ultimately is going to give us a career advice on improving our resume and then as well as the profile. Okay. And then you see that here we are going to give the user input. User input, as you know, is something which the user is going to give, like the one who are going to use these AI agents which we are creating, right? So we are giving them the flexibility to have the input. So if you see here, the first input is like user can ask like what skills do you already have? Okay. So like you can enter your current skill sets. So basically first step is you need to provide your skill set. Okay. And then the next one is what job are we aiming for? First, you need to provide the skill set. Second thing is you need to provide that what job are you actually aiming for? Okay. Like whether you are aiming for the data analyst or a cloud engineer. So that you have to provide it. So those are the two sections. Like the very first section will help us out in adding what skill set we actually have. And then the second one will help us out in letting us know like what is the job which we are targeting, or what is the job which we are aiming for to apply or to go ahead into. Okay, that's what we need to provide here in the user skills and the target job, where the user will be given the chance to provide the input. Okay, now I'm creating my first task. If you see the task one which you see, right, it is about, it's saying very clearly, this is going to tell the career researcher agent, because I said here agent is career researcher. Okay. This will tell the career researcher agent to find the skills needed for the job, whatever we are providing. Let's say now you say that I am looking for the data analyst job, or I'm looking for the machine learning engineer. So the task is your career researcher agent, which I defined here at the top, right? You see that the first one. So it will explain to you, okay, if you are going to become, see, target job means here, this is the variable. You see that this is the variable I am taking and then I'm adding it over here. This is my variable. Okay. So dynamically whatever target job you are providing. So to that particular target job, the skill is to give me a bullet list of 5 to 7 skills which are required for you to successfully apply for that job. So if you want to become a machine learning engineer, what are the 5 to 7 skill sets which you need to have in your profile, so that you can have an opportunity to get listed in the companies which are looking for the machine learning engineer, or maybe any role, whatever you want to provide it. So that is my first task. Now let's go to the second task over here. If you see very clearly, the second task is to compare the user skills with the job skills. So first what will happen, so this is going to ensure that it will first compare the current skill sets, whatever you have. That means whatever user skills which we are providing, right? Whatever skills you have with the required skills for the target job. Like whatever you are targeting, that skill set versus your skill set. First, it will look into that. It will see if there is any gap in your skill set. So it will act like a skill analyst. The agent here is a skill analyst. It will check for what is your skill set, and then what is the job you're looking for, whether everything is similar or is there any mismatch in it. If there is, then it will let you know. It will give you the comparison list, and it will give you a 2-line summary of where your skills are actually having that gap. It will be able to go ahead and will let you know that what is that the skill set which you're having as a gap. And then it will let you know that this is where you need to work upon if you really want to aspire to become a particular engineer in a particular role, whatever you're looking for. Okay, so that is how the task is going to. So this is going to be a skills analyst. Okay. Then let's proceed further. Okay, so you have another task right now here, which is your third task. And then the third task is to improve your resume. So this is going to again have an agent, that is your resume advisor. So now your resume advisor will give you the tips. Okay, now the resume advisor will help us out to give us the tips using the output from the task 2. Okay, ideally what is happening is, if you see, we are saying to give a specific advice to improve the user's resume.
and as well as your online profile based on the skill gap. So what it will do, it will give you the tips that how you have to improve your resume so that you can target to the particular job whatever you are aspiring for. And the agent is resume advisor, and the context for this is my task 2. So what is my task 2 here? My task 2 is, so it will understand, right? It will directly take the task 2. In the task 2, you have the current skill set, and then what is the job you're looking for? What are the skill sets matching? It will incorporate all of them into the resume because you gave the context to be task 2. So again, context will help you pass the information from one agent to another. That is the beauty of it. See, they are all interconnected to each other. All the tasks here are interconnected to each other. See, task 2 is taking the context as task 1. That means from the task 1, your task 2 will understand that what is that you're looking for as a target job. Okay, what are your skill sets? It will understand and it will be letting you know that what is that you are missing and what you need to target upon. Then your task 3C. Task 3 is like a resume advisor, where it is taking your task 2 into consideration because it is understanding what is your current skill set, what is that you are missing. It will incorporate and it will suggest you in a better manner. Okay. And finally, here we are defining the crew. So you know crew means what? Crew is nothing but it is a set of agents and tasks. That's what we learned, right? Crew here means it's nothing but you are going to have the set of agents and the tasks associated over here. And if you observe here very clearly in this scenario, so here the agent is like first agent is your career researcher. Then you have your skill analyst and then you have your resume advisor. These are totally 3 agents required over here. And then the 3 tasks which we have taken. So task 1, task 2 and task 3, whatever we have named it. So as you know, here crew is nothing but it is a set of agents and tasks. So we have here agents and then we have also the tasks associated with it. And then you have the result where we are going to kick off. This is where your all the agents, whatever we were been able to define here, will start working in sequence. So whatever 3 agents and 3 tasks which we created, the moment the kickoff will execute, it will go ahead and will kickstart everything. And then finally, it will provide the career report. In the print statement, it will go ahead and will show us the final career guidance report where you can be able to see all your results. See, you know what we did? Ideally, you go to consultant companies, right? You go to consultant companies to ask them what job roles you're looking for. You ask them the help, right? Hey, I have my resume, but I don't know what. Very clearly, if you see here, right, what is happening? First, I have installed all my prerequisites, like all my CrewAI, LangChain and everything. Okay, then I got my agent task crew. Chat OpenAI will help me for me to connect with the GPT 3.5. Okay, I took my OpenAI API key. It's like a credential for me to enter into the AI world, especially the Chat GPT world. Okay, then I am mentioning the model which I wanted, the GPT 3.5 turbo, and then the temperature where it is 0.5 to 1 will be best for us to have the proper randomness. Okay, then as a career researcher, you have the agent available where you can define the role of the agent, the goal that as a career researcher, and the goal is to find out the most in-demand tech jobs. And the backstory is to ensure that we are expert in analyzing the job market. Okay, and then LLM is going to be the LLM, whatever we are picking up here, and then verbose equal to true, which will help us out to see all the results one by one. rather than going to the output directly. So first agent is a career researcher, okay, which will help us out in letting us know what are the in-demand technology jobs. It will analyze and it will give us the job market trends, okay. Then there is a skill analyst where you can provide your skill set and then it will let you know like what are the skill sets, like, and then if there is any gap for your job requirement and the skill sets, it will let you know as a skill analyst. Then you have your resume advisor. Your resume advisor will help you out in setting a tone or letting you know that how you need to prepare your resume so that you can be able to apply for a particular job and can get succeeded in it. Okay. And here are the two inputs. Like as a user, you can provide what are your current skill sets and then what is the job role you're targeting for. You can provide those two details here. This is a user who is going to use the AI agent. They can be able to incorporate the input whatever they wanted here. And the task for the first agent as a career researcher is first it needs to find out the top in-demand skills based on whatever job you are providing. Okay, all the 5 to 7 skills it should require, like it should be able to identify based on whatever job role you're applying for. Then the task 2 is like again it like what it is going to do, it will take the user's current skill set, that is whatever you provided, and what is that you're targeting as a job. It will see if any skill set is matching, it will identify and it will let you know those things so that you can improvise on them or you can learn them and can apply for the role in a better manner. Okay, and then there is another task here, okay, where it will suggest you or where it is going to provide you a particular advice. Right, you have a task 3 which will help you to give a specific advice so that you can improve your resume without any difficulties or constraints. Okay, so where you can see that your profile or your resume can be enlightened or it can be enhanced in such a way that whatever is missing you can be able to incorporate it appropriately. Okay, so agent is resume advisor where the task should be executed. Crew is a combination of your tasks and agents. So you see, I have created here 3 agents, one being the career researcher, and then you have the skills analyst, and then your resume advisor. These are the 3 agents, and you have the 3 tasks also. So all being combined as one unit here. And here is where when you say crew.kickoff, this is where your agent will get executed ultimately, all your agent and tasks. And finally, this is where we are going to print the result by printing it as a final career report, and it will give you the result. That's it. So let me go and try to run this program. Okay, let's try to run this and see how it is going to be executed. Let's try to understand that. See, first it is asking me enter your current skills. If you see here, see that's something from here it is coming. See, enter your current skills. So my current skills are, let's say I am good in AI, I'm good in ML, I'm good in DL, I'm saying good in Gen AI, and I'll say I'm good in agentic AI, something like this, and say click on enter. Now it is asking, okay, I understand what are your skill sets, thank you, but can you say what job role are you targeting? I will say data engineering, or otherwise I'll say data engineer. Okay, let's see what it will. First of all, now it will find out. Okay, see, as a career researcher, what are the top skill sets? If you're looking for to be a data engineer, right? See, it gave me all the answers. Let's see. If you are going to be a data engineer, then what the career researcher agent is guiding you or setting you or letting you know that, hey, if you want to be a if you want to be a data engineer, see, first of all, you should be strong in programming languages like Python, Java, or Scala. Okay, you should have the strong knowledge of the database systems and data warehousing solutions like SQL, NoSQL, Hadoop, or Spark. You should have an experience with ETL, extract, transform, load processes and tools. You should have familiarity with the cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. You should understand what is a data modeling and data architecture principles. You should be having the ability to work with the large data sets and optimize the data pipelines for efficiency. And you should also have the strong problem solving skills. Okay, you should also be able to have the strong problem solving and analytical skills. Okay, so that's something which we need to understand over here. Okay, So right now, if you observe over here, right, this is how your career researcher has found out based on the role, whatever you are aspiring for or whatever job role you are targeting. These are the things which you should definitely have in your profile. The career researcher agent is letting you. Now there is another agent, that is skills gap analyst. So it says that, hey, your current skill sets is AI, ML, DL, Gen AI, Agentic AI, which is with the required skills which are applying for the data engineer. So what it is doing, see, it says that, see, these are your current skill sets, which is now we came to the skills gap analyst. There is another agent, that is skills gap analyst. Now this agent says, great, these are your current skill sets, which is very good. Okay, but you still have some skill gaps which you need to fill. What are those? If you see proficiency in the programming language, you did not mention anywhere about it. You did not provide any experience with your ETL, extract, transform, load process. Familiarity with cloud platforms is required. You need to provide about understanding of the data modeling and architecture. And then you need to provide the optimization of the data pipelines. Okay. All these three things are nowhere being highlighted. Now, when you see the skill gaps in this scenario, right, when you see the skill gaps, these are the gaps which are available. So you need to incorporate this in your profile so that it will be much, much stronger based on whatever you are having. Okay, as a skill set. Now, next agent, third agent came into the picture after skills gap. Now, resume advisor. Let's see what our resume advisor is going to say is that. Okay. So to enhance your resume and portfolio, and if you want to bridge the skill gap for a data engineer role, do three key things. First of all, enhance your proficiency in the programming language. Enroll in some online courses or tutorials to improve your skills in programming languages such as Python, Java, or Scala. Complete some projects using these languages so that you can showcase your practical ability. Okay, include a dedicated skills section on your resume highlighting the progress and proficiency in these languages, and give some examples or projects which you have worked on hands-on. Then gain some experience with ETL processes. Okay, seek some opportunities to work on projects or internships where it involves ETL process. Showcase your hands-on experience associated with it. Okay, and then it says add a section in your resume about whatever ETL process you worked upon and highlight what are the tools or software you worked with. Okay, so that it will be easier for the recruiters to understand it. Okay, and familiarize yourself with the cloud platform. So take some online courses or certifications. Okay, in the cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, as these are the mostly used cloud roles, clouds which are available, it says. And you can also highlight whatever hands-on activity you have done and highlight any specific achievements or challenges you have overcome in these cloud platforms. So you see that such a great input it was able to give me. So now see, it acted like a real career advisor for me. As a career researcher, once it understood, right, obviously your consultants also will try to first understand what you are. What are your skill set and all. So I gave those things. I said that, hey, these are my current skill sets and this is what I'm looking for. Now, my career researcher agent came and says that what is that I am missing? Okay, or what I need to look for. The skills gap analyst came into the picture and says that, hey boss, I understand this is your current skill set, but still, I would say that you need to focus on these things so that you will be having a very good chance in the market if you are aspiring to be a data engineer. And then as a resume advisor, I would suggest you to enhance your resume by incorporating these three things. That's it. And it is giving you all the solution at one go. See, that is the beauty of creating the AI agents, everyone. Okay, this is the beauty of creating the AI agents, where it will help us out in creating the entire solution. Okay, where it is going to help us out in creating the entire solution appropriately. Okay, so that is the core capability which I just want to make it very clear to all of you. Okay, so if you see important point which we all here ideally should be considering. Okay, so this is one of the important point which I just want to make it very clear to you. See how well we have created a multi-agents that the agent itself is going and doing the work for all of us. So we don't need to be dependent on anybody here. Just put your required skill set, whatever you have, and then the job role you're targeting, just provide this information. Then your agent itself is going and helping you out like a career researcher, the skills gap analyst, and as well as a resume advisor. It's helping us out with all the important actions which is required for us to move. Okay. So that's the overall clarity which we all should be here aware about. Okay. So now as you're clear with this part, now what I'm going to do here is I'll be sharing this code to all of you, where you can also create multi-agents like what we have discussed right now, along with multi-tasks, execute it from your end and check whether all these agents are working appropriately or not. But before that, you need to again provide your current skill sets. So what is that the job role you're targeting for? Apply those appropriately, and then we can be able to proceed further. Okay. So I'm just sharing the code. Give me 1 minute. I'll just put it in the same document which we have added. So give me 1 minute. Let me put it in the document and share it to everyone. I just shared the document to all of you in the chat. Okay, I just shared the document to everyone in the main chat. Please go ahead, download the document. And once you download the document, right, at the bottom, you will see the code at the very end. Once you come to the bottom of the document, right, so you'll be able to see. Okay. So at the end, I have provided it with multiple agents. So I would request every one of you, I'll give you some 8 to 9 minutes of time. So please utilize this 8 to 9 minutes of your time and go ahead. So please go ahead and complete this activity, everyone. Okay. So this is I have shared the code. Only thing what you need to do here is you need to replace your API key over here. So whatever API key you have, right, you just need to take this API key and you need to provide it over here and then proceed further. Okay. And then you need to execute the code. That's it. And then you will be able to see the output in this manner. Okay. So if you scroll down, this is how entire output is being very clearly presented. Okay. So that's the idea which we all need to be able to have. So please go ahead, complete this. I'll give you around 6 to 7 minutes of time to complete this activity, everybody, where we have entered into the world of multi-agents, where we have created multi-agents with multiple tasks. Okay. Please go ahead and complete this, everybody, and let me know once you're done. Acknowledge it in the chat so that I'll be able to get to know how many of you are done with it. This is the entire code available for us. Yeah, we can mix the agents double, and you can also be able to do it. That's not a problem. How many ever agents we want, we can be able to create it. But one thing to be kept in mind is if you create lots of agents, you can do that. But again, at the end of the day, we are calling the API. So the cost also will be little higher when you create multiple agents, because right, when there are like 10 to 20 agents we are creating, then the cost also will be high when we are calling the API through AI models like ChatGPT, Copilot, or Gemini. That's the only thing to be kept in mind. That's it. I've shared the code already, Dhaval, in the main chat. I have uploaded the file. You can please download it. Okay. So from there, you can see that the file is already available. Okay. So please complete it, everyone. Please try to complete this entire multi-agent part and do let me know once you are done with it. Okay, I see that some of you have already completed it. Good job, everyone. I would request others also to please go ahead, complete it. It's a very good case study where we are building a career advisor, especially for all your students and sometimes even for yourself. This is going to play an important role. Who wants to change the job or who wants to understand that where their skill sets are currently, what is that which is missing for the job role which they are going to apply for. It's a very good case study. Okay, only thing is you should be knowing how to implement and execute it based on whatever we have been able to discuss right now. You all wanted me to strip this again. A minute. Done. I've sent it again. Okay. You exceeded your current quota, I think, Deepa. That's the problem. It just started running. I would just suggest you, Deepa, because whatever the API which you had, I think it because it's very clearly says, right? See, OpenAI exception, you exceeded your current quota. Please check your plan and billing details. So what I would suggest is if you have any other email ID of yours or maybe anyone else from your family, you can log in using their Gmail account to the OpenAI platform and can get another $5 and get the API key created from there and just try to upload it in the OpenAI API key in the. It very clearly says that, right? Your quota is exceeded. Just try to do like that, get some free API key from there and then add it over here. Okay. It will be helpful for you to take it. Yeah, not a problem. Thank you. Sure. So, yeah, that's it for our today's session, everyone. Today we covered about really some of the interesting things, like where we went into CrewAI, and first we created the, as I said, first we were able to go ahead and focus upon and creating this career research. Okay. So first thing, if you see here, this is the first part which we worked upon, like where we created a learning coach, and as a learning coach, anybody can go ahead and ask any question, and your AI agent as a learning coach will be able to go ahead and respond. Right? That's something which we were being able to go ahead and achieve. Then again, we worked upon creating the multiple AI agents, like one is the career researcher agent, skills analyst agent, resume advisor agent, where all three of them worked as a multi-agent, and they were able to give us the responses. And finally, we utilized those responses and were able to see that how well it can be able to go ahead and help us. Right? So that is another interesting thing which we were being able to go ahead and complete it successfully. Okay. So tomorrow the agenda will be, we are going to discuss about how human in the loop will play an important role in the AI. Okay. So how human in the loop, you remember in the Llama index, we discussed how human in the loop is very important. In the same lines, we are going to discuss tomorrow as part of our agenda that how in the CrewAI, human in the loop is going to play an important. That is the next thing which we will be targeting as part of our tomorrow's agenda. Okay. So with tomorrow, we will be completing our CrewAI part. Okay. So with the tomorrow's class, we will complete our CrewAI, and then on tomorrow, maybe at the end, okay, once we complete our CrewAI totally, I will introduce you to the next AI agentic world, which is also very latest in the market, that is N8N. Okay, we will discuss about what is N8N. That is also another exciting thing which is happening in the market. I'll give you an overview or an idea so that you will also get a better exposure towards it. Okay, and that's it. So I will also share the document, whatever we worked upon today. Give me just half a second. Let me try to export this off quickly. And let me also put it over the chat so that you all can be able to utilize this document also. Okay. So I just sent the document also to all of you. Yeah, thank you so much for the wonderful feedback. It's possible to connect the Wikipedia or giving the way. Yes, it can be done. Okay. Only thing you remember, Deepa, we did one of the concept, right? We did one of the concept previously where I gave the URL of the image, right? In the lang chain, when we were discussing, I gave the URL of the image ID. In the same way, just you can refer to the code. In the lang chain document, whatever I'm sharing, right? There itself, you have the website URL. So whatever URL you want, you can replace that image URL and provide the Wikipedia URL. But it is possible. And for that, already in the LangChain document, I have already provided the syntax. So you can utilize that. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, thank you once again, everyone, for your time. So we will again connect tomorrow with whatever topic I have been able to mention for the agenda, right? We'll continue with that. That's a CrewAI and N8N. Okay. Thank you once again, everyone. Have a great time. Over to you, Shmita. Thanks for facilitating.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yeah, so dear faculty members, I have just shared the attendance link. Please mark your attendance without any fail. I'm just giving a reminder. If you have already marked it, that's fine. If I have not marked it, kindly mark the attendance. So yeah, we are done for the day. Thank you for joining. We'll meet again on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you all. Have a great day.